Here is Grover Norquist with us now from Americans for Tax Reform. Grover, I look at that debt and I say catastrophe. And if we don't get 4 or 5 or 6% growth down the road and control spending, we go over a cliff. What do you say?
No, absolutely. That's exactly what we need to do. And a number to remember is that if we grow at 4% a year, which is what we should be growing at least, instead of the 2% a year that Obama has brought us to and that France has lived with for years, the difference between 4% and 2% growth is $2.5 trillion in higher revenue over a decade. So if you want to reduce the debt by $5 trillion for 10 years, grow at 4%. These people who want to raise taxes to bring down the debt, that will slow growth and make things worse.
I agree with you, but Grover, they're going to come right at you and say, this is a catastrophe in the making. We must have a compromise between spending cuts and tax increases. And the word compromise is going to look very, very attractive as we roll round to January. And I suspect the politicians, no matter who they are, will not be strong enough to resist.
Well, here's the good news. Boehner, who's the leader of the House of Representatives, Speaker of the House, is going to be reelected as Speaker. That's the one thing that we know going into this election. And he announced that the Republicans are not raising taxes. That is not happening. And it's very important that we define the problem correctly. The problem is the federal government is spending too much, not that the peasants are undertaxed. So as long as you understand that the problem is spending too much, we can compromise. I think the Ryan plan reduces spending by $6 trillion over a decade. Maybe you have to compromise and only reduce spending by 4 or 5, not 6. Compromising in the direction of liberty is okay. Moving less rapidly to less spending might be necessary. But raising taxes is what politicians do instead of reducing spending.
I agree, no,
it's
Grover.
the problem.
You may not be able to see this, Grover, but on the other side of the screen from you, our viewers are seeing Paul Ryan voting in Janesville, Wisconsin, with his children. He's casting his vote as of right now. That will be Janesville, Wisconsin. Back to you, Grover, very fast here. Who do you expect to win? Not who do you want to win, but call it how you see it happening today.
Well, I think Romney will win the presidency because they're looking better in a number of the key states, and even states like Minnesota and Pennsylvania are now in play. That's the presidency. It's the House of Representatives. Very important. Whoever wins the House this election cycle will hold it for a decade, because these are the new districts that will be there for 10 years. The Republicans have 29 governorships. They're going to add 1, 2, 3, or 4. Watch the state legislatures. Arkansas, a Democrat state in both houses of the legislature since the Civil War, is going to go Republican both houses.
Grover, we always appreciate you being with us. Thanks again on this special election day. Thank you, Grover Norquist.
Good to be with you.